It kind of transitioned us into another piece of this conversation I wanted to have with you, which is we don't talk about that enough, do we, in today's society? Like everything is so fear based and talking about preventative or rather reactive medicine as opposed to preventative. And it just got me thinking about the analogy we were using before of would 25-year-old you be listening? Would healthy version of you be listening to say, you need to take care of your body right now so that you're not in a compromised position with these comorbidities that might actually hurt you? And naturally, you kind of know the conversation, the dance that I'm doing here around this big old elephant in the room, which is the whole COVID situation as well, and how we're trying to navigate all this stuff. But what's your position on that? Like, how do you speak about that, knowing that sometimes people just won't hear it? They don't want to.
Yeah. I mean, people are going to hear what they want to hear. I think the silver lining and ultimately, hopefully, the epic shift that occurs in our society, both in my country and in yours, is that people begin to value their metabolic health, their underlying health more, and start to understand that it's within their control. You mentioned personal responsibility before. Another thing that I am absolutely obsessed with is personal responsibility. What are you doing? What actions are you taking to do the things to contribute to whatever it is that you say, you want, I want, everyone else thinks that they should have, right? And I think it's become very obvious, given the mountains of data that is now available, that your actions, your daily actions accumulate over time. That presents you a body of evidence that you carry around on a daily basis. And, we've seen that the healthier you are, conceivably, the bigger yawn this thing is for many of us. Now, I'll certainly caveat this with, I'm sure that some healthy people have had difficult times and maybe even have passed away. I'll also tell you that we have been directly impacted by COVID. My father-in-law, my wife's dad, passed away from COVID. He was also 87. He also had heart disease. He also had diabetes. And he was also, not morbidly, but he was also obese. And so, I've had COVID twice. It's been, again, I don't want to minimize this and turn this into COVID's, bullshit and it's no big deal. But, I've had worse hangovers. I've had worse bouts with New York City street meat. Okay. Both of my kids had COVID and they threw up for 4 or 5 hours and then they were playing around the house because they couldn't go anywhere else for 5 days or so. And so, I hope the silver lining around this is that people realize that your health is your responsibility and nobody else's. Nobody is coming to save you. Our system, our medical system, and I'm going to assume that yours is similar. I don't know the ins and outs of the Canadian medical system, but it's an acute care system, and it's an incredible acute care system. Don't get me wrong. If I have a medical emergency, I am not going to make a smoothie with spinach and kale, okay? I'm going to the damn hospital, and I'm going to seek medical attention, okay? The problem becomes is that we only typically try to treat the symptom that we see right in front of us at the time. And so we're given a pill, we're given a drug. Then sometimes we're given another drug to cover up the symptoms or the side effects of the drug that's stopping the other thing. And then you find my dad is 74, heart disease patient, multiple heart surgeries, love him to death, greatest man I know. Dude takes 25 pills a day, okay? And so, I don't want to live my life that way. I don't want to live my life taking 25 pills a day. I was just talking to a friend, his dad is still super fit. And so he even describes, we get into this fathers think it's selfish to go take time away from their family when they only have a little bit of time to go focus on themselves. And, we say that's selfless, and it is, but his point is what a selfless act for 30 years that his dad undertook, because my friend Sam now knows that he doesn't have to take care of his parents for the next 30 years. His dad was helping him move out of out of a 4th floor New York City walk up, moving a couch a couple of months ago, So to bring it back to my father, my dad doesn't move around very well. I had to fly home from California to New Jersey with my dad because he couldn't really go by himself. It's kind of a big deal for him to travel on his own. And like, I mean, he's not 24 anymore, but at 74, I plan to be shooting jump shots with my grandson. I plan to be going on walks. I plan to be like moving around. I plan to be enjoying my life. I don't ever, I say all the time, I'm not the athlete that I once was, but I'm always going to be an athlete. It's relative value is a big thing in trading. Like, what does this cost versus this? What's this valuation versus this? And so at 74, I'm certainly not going to be running up and down a court, maybe dunking on anybody, but my jumper's still going to look pretty darn good.
Still be on the court, nonetheless.
That's right. Give me a Bud Light, Grant. Go get me a cold beer out of the fridge, grandson. I'm going to sit here. I'm going to make another 10 foul shots in a row.
Yeah.
And so I don't even know what the hell we started talking about. Oh, personal responsibility and COVID.
Yeah.
I'm talking about beer and I'm gone, bro. I just, look, I think like if you're not taking care of your health, you do not have sovereignty in this world anymore. You are subject to somebody else imposing a mandate or a rule or a in air quotes law on you, and you may have to follow it because you may not have any other choice. As much as like I think there should be choice in all things that are related to our bodies, I actually think that, for most people, taking a vaccine is a good idea because we're a sick, fat, and near-dead society. And so for a healthy guy, for a young kid, for a healthy individual, it's probably your choice. You do what you want to do. Most people have been kind of forced into this decision, not because someone is physically forcing them, but because they're not healthy. And it's, they get scared into doing something. And so it's your responsibility. It's your body. You only get one. You can't trade it in. It's not a car lease. You can't upgrade. It's your body. You get one shot at life. One shot.
Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed that clip and you want to watch the full unedited episode, go ahead and click over here. And while you're at it, don't forget to subscribe. It really does mean a lot to me. Thanks so much.